Last year, in terms of your career, you said, I've got much more selfish. I'm a fan of the word selfish. I am less concerned what people think of me. I'm not worried about how I'm perceived. Selfish has always gotten a bad rap. You should do for you.
Yeah.
I wanted new experiences.
Yes.
You're not an Ayn Rand guy, are you?
No.
Or are you? No.
I don't think so.
In terms of selfish, how do you define the word?
Look, I think anything, the ideal spot, all right, where I like to be, and I'm not always there, but where I love to be is when what I'm doing selfishly for me, even hedonistically for me, happens to be what's best for the most amount of people. That's the sweet spot. But then that's for guys like Jesus Christ and so what have you, other prophets. I'm not saying I'm there very few times, Emma, but that's the spot. And I think anything, look at Interstellar. What Cooper does, he wants to fly selfishly, to live his dream. Is it also for the chance to actually save mankind? Yeah, but he also has his own personal quest that if he didn't get to, he's got some spite for this world because that's what he's supposed to do. His home is in the cockpit. So I think I like to personally try and find a selfish reason why I want to do everything.
And of course, Matthew's by far not alone in accepting this premise explicitly. Most people hold some version of the others before self thing. You hear it all the time. What is a good person? Well, he thinks of others before himself. He puts others' interests above his own. What a good guy, right? He doesn't think of himself first. Don't think of yourself first. So this is kind of, we hear this idea a lot, and this is generally what's taken to be a moral or a good person. But of course, not everybody does this, and in fact, taken as a moral principle, a principle meaning that you're trying to apply it consistently, you find that it's impossible to practice. In any case, between should I try to pursue my own interests or consider the interests of others above my own, if you do that consistently, it's going to lead you to the loss of values, and ultimately you could take it to the extreme and say it's death. And so in effect, it's an impossible morality to practice consistently. And that's kind of the point of it. The point of it is to, what do we feel when we hold one thing as good and then we do the opposite of what we say, or we don't live up to it? We feel guilty. And guilt is a powerful weapon. And I think that's kind of the main point of it. And Ayn Rand challenges it, and I want to challenge it. And Matthew is attempting to challenge it, but not quite so much. And I don't know if you want to say, well, no, people don't mean that, but I want to ask you if the following pattern isn't recognizable. So you go about your life, you're constantly trying to satisfy your own needs and to advance your own lot. You seek self-improvement, you seek a better job, a better home, a more comfortable, safer car for your family, the healthiest food, the best education for your kids, better opportunities for yourself and for your kids, right? A better place to live in which they may thrive and you may see, like you say, you see yourself thrive and see your kids thrive. You're just constantly thinking about what can I do in my life and how can I be better? On this show, we're talking about optimizing your health and optimizing your happiness in life and trying to follow your dreams and follow your goals and pursue your passion, etc. I mean, this is all pretty self-absorbed. It's pretty selfish, you might say. And then what happens is as you're starting to do that, you're starting to do these things and you're starting to see your life get better and you're starting to feel a glow of pride about it and self-esteem. And then someone can come around and say, so when was the last time you thought about other people other than yourself? When was the last time you gave a thought to the other people out there who are struggling, etc., blah, blah, blah. And what do? You say, oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I know there's something good in what I'm doing. It must be good to pursue your own values. But yet, yeah, you're right. I guess I'm kind of a bad guy morally. Like maybe practically I'm kind of practicing some kind of good qualities or something that I can't define. But yeah, morally, you're right. I'm a bad guy. And what is that? So again, as I said, what this does is make you feel guilt. And to assuage that guilt, people might try, as Matthew has at last, to kind of say, well, maybe if in the sweet spot, if I kind of pursue all these things in the right way, it might happen to be what's also best for the most amount of people. And nobody's buying this, right? Everybody knows in common wisdom that two wrongs don't make a right. So nobody believes that by engaging in some kind of magical combination of all these vices, pursuing selfish interests and values, that it's somehow going to add up to virtue. So this is a big mess, and it's a very unnecessary mess, right? What if there was a morality that, was not defined in opposition to human success and individual happiness, but in accordance with it? What if that vice that we talk about, that pursuing your values, is actually good? What if the moral were also the practical? Well, I've got news for you. It is. And let's find out more about that.
Mr. Brightside, your time out to refresh, refuel, and refocus your mind and energy toward building an optimistic framework for flourishing. Life is good. It's up to you to choose the bright side.